I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Ava.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
Yo, this is Reno.
Hello, I'm Brandy.
They call me Pride Slayer.
I'm Bon Manuel.
And we are the Internet.
Podcast you're about to listen to has crude language, violence, and other things you probably shouldn't let your children listen to. Please enjoy.
Drop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, because it ain't wet from sweat and we ain't done yet. Welcome to Internet Podcast, where we just want to touch your insides, people. And when I say that, don't be pervy. We just want to tug on your heartstrings, make you smile a little. Just a little.
Just a little.
I am your host, that one guy, Ty, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly MC Tyler Havlin. And I talk slow, and I walk slower. And remember, it's either 2 claps in a celebration or 2 claps in a woo.
I have a sad fact for you right now.
What?
I can't woo because I've lost my voice.
You can't woo?
I can't woo.
Why are we recording then?
Well, I mean...
What can you do?
Huh? I can sit here and talk to you.
Well, we got to do
For whatever
something.
reason, I can't, raise my voice and pitch. The best woo you're going to get is woo.
Can you do a hee?
No. I can't do anything, dude. I actually tried earlier today because, my throat's feeling a little bit better. So I tried to woo, and it just didn't work out.
All right, well, can we get, 2 claps and a hold on, what's the word I'm looking for? 2 claps and an unenthusiastic woo. Woo.
That's what they get for taking it away.
Yeah. Asshole. Next up, he is the Lord that's never bored. He ain't got a voice, but it'll still make your panties moist. He ain't got a shirt on, and that's just for you, ladies. 2 claps and a unenthusiastic woo for Lord Shorty Fresh in the flesh. Woo. I don't know why I had to shake my hands when I did it, dude. It just felt more gangsta that way.
Some more gangster.
All right, here we are in June. It's men's mental health. I can't speak. Look,
Mental Hell Month.
mental hellness, because that's what it feels like sometimes, people. Mental Health Awareness Month. No, it's not awareness, it's just Men's Mental Health Month, right? And mental health awareness is November, I believe. Or is it?
Mental Health Month?
Men's Mental Health Month, right?
That's...
You Googling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do the Google thing. And, sometimes I feel like my mental health is pretty good because I overthink a lot and my brain runs in circles all day, and running's an exercise, bro. So my mental health is really good because it's always working, right? Mm-hmm. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we squared that away.
So, June is Men's Mental Health Month, and mental health.
Mental hell. See, it's hell.
Mental health awareness is
May.
May. Yeah.
Well, I was completely wrong on all fronts. What's new?
This is a bright green ribbon, and the men's mental health one is a dark royal blue.
I don't even like royal blue, though.
The goddamn pen is blue.
What the fuck? Who made these fucking months? We need to talk to them. I'm going to write my local government official because we need, a different color ribbon, bro.
I wonder when it was established.
I don't know. You should find that out. I feel like I should have found that out. But here's the thing. Royal blue is the most boring fucking color. Right? When you're blue, you're sad anyways. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
See, then why we get royal blue? What the fuck?
Because nobody cares about our mental health, Ty. That's why that's why the rates are so high.
I mean, I get that. Do you know what the rates are? The rates are high. Mm-hmm. I got the statistics.
Yep. In 1994.
In 1994? It's been around that long, and we're only knowing about it the last couple of years? Yep. See? Sadness ensues, people. Literally sadness. But hey, we're here to cheer you up, maybe. I don't know. Look, if you're expecting the bubbly Tyler and the fucking light of your all's life Shorty over here. If you're expecting that this episode, it might be a little different, all right? But we're going to get through it together, people. Together.
And then the gays came in and took it in 1999.
So we had 5 years of it to ourselves, though. Pride Month's important, though.
And then we got pushed under the rug.
Here's the thing. You know what? It's men's mental health. I won't get into that. They're both important. But we're going to talk about the less talked about one today.
Yep.
We're going to shine some light. Because that's one thing we take seriously here at Inner Idiot Productions is mental health. Men and women. But mental health in general, we take it seriously.
Yes.
I'm still going to joke about some shit, but here we are. You know what today is? If you're listening on Spotify, we're going to shake things up a bit here.
Okay.
Because we're recording on June 9th. And do you know what June 9th is?
Not significantly, no.
Michael J. Fox's birthday.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah. That's how we're shaking it up a bit.
That's fucked, Ty. That's fucked.
Hey, man.
I'm here for it. But that's fucked.
Yeah. I lost a lot of social media followers and friends today for that joke.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
No shit?
Yeah.
People were like, oh, that's not funny. And unfriend, unfollow.
Yeah, but here's
shit.
the thing. I donate to that Michael J. Fox Foundation just so I can make those jokes. I'm just saying.
Does he make those jokes?
I bet he does. You know what he said once?
Huh.
A body in motion stays in motion.
Word?
He didn't really say it, but somebody said it, and I feel like it's a good saying for anybody with Parkinson's. Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you, Ty. That is abundantly clear for the fact that you're still sitting across from me.
Oh, man. That was a solid joke. It was. It vibrated on a different frequency, that's for sure.
You're fucked up, bro. You're hitting it. You're hitting it today.
All right. Mental health, people. Obviously, I need it. I probably need some therapy, but
I don't know about probably, definitely. Everybody should care more about their mental health.
I told you, my brain runs in circles every day. It does laps.
Go see a therapist. It's better for you. It's better for everyone.
Do you really think it'd be better for everybody if I went and saw a therapist?
Yes, I think it would. Specifically you.
Dude, I feel like it would ruin my life.
No.
And I am I am a therapist advocate, but it would kill my jokes.
Why?
I don't know.
Maybe you'd be able to dissect them better.
I dissect
And
them.
you'd be able to heal better. Like, you would heal better, like, just mentally and stuff like that. Therefore, you'd be like, oh, wow, this was also traumatizing and shit like that. And you're like, now I can joke about it because I moved past it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And, like, some things you're really struggling with, you can't joke about.
There's not much I don't joke about, though.
True. But you know what? There might be one day where you hit your limit and you're like, ooh, man, I shouldn't have said that.
I have that thought at least twice a day.
Sure.
I shouldn't have said that.
And if you were in a better place mentally, you'd be able to say it anyway. And be like, you know what? Fuck it. It's all good.
No, that's what I tell myself anyways. If I think of something and I'm like, man, I shouldn't say that, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to say it anyways. Do we have comments up here on the screen? Because I'm not seeing any over here. And I know sometimes it gets a little catty-wonkus.
We don't have any.
Okay.
I'm sitting here looking at it too, buddy.
All right, cool.
I'm paying attention.
All right. See, nobody's here for men's mental health.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But how many of your top 5 do you have? How many do you think?
I have 4.
You have 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
let's save it for the second segment. What are your statistics? Hit me with what you have written down.
All right. And then I'm going to tell you some ways I deal with my mental health.
Okay.
issues.
Yeah. Let me hear it, buddy.
All right. The United States, 16.3% of men 18 and older are diagnosed with a mental illness. Only 36% of those receive treatment. Now, here's the caveat to that, is men don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So 16%, like, you can either look at it as that's high or that's low, but the number should be a lot higher.
Yeah, no doubt.
And because this day and age, everybody's struggling with something. Mm-hmm. And that's what some people don't understand. It's like not struggling is not the norm.
Right.
If you're not struggling, you are an exception,
Right.
in my opinion. Common mental health conditions include depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, eating disorders, and schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
Men account for 75% of global death by suicide each year. 75%. Men show fewer signs than women due to stigma, social expectations, or societal expectations, and gender roles.
Yep.
1 in 8 men report having symptoms, but 19.5% of men have been diagnosed. That right there shows you, because 1 in 8, that's roughly 22.5 or 23%, maybe.
1 in 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it's roughly 28 or 23%. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that because my mental health issues. But yeah, that just shows you the discrepancy in what's being diagnosed and what's actually reporting symptoms. And suicide is the biggest killer of men under 50.
Yep.
That's crazy. Because at that point, you know, you can look at it as a choice or it's not, but ultimately it is a choice. That's the statistics I have, and those are some scary statistics. What are some things that you do to help your mental?
I mean, I see a therapist once a month. There for a long time it was weekly, but it has been reduced to once a month. Because I feel like I'm doing better. However, if I get into a dark place, I have certain things that take me like back to when I know, or when I was happy, or when I was, when I was stable and shit like that. So I have like comfort things, whether that be shows or certain video games or whatever. Like I will fall back into those until I can mentally come out of it.
One of the cool things about one of your coping mechanisms, the video game part, is you play Stardew Valley.
Yes.
And they actually, and we discovered this together, they actually have programs dedicated to helping people with depression based around this game.
What is the name of that?
While you're looking forward, I'll explain it a little bit. So one of the things that they're doing with this game, Stardew Valley,
is not just Stardew Valley either.
No, but that's the most notable one.
Yeah.
A lot of people have heard of it.
I got it.
But what they're doing is they're getting people together and they're having them socialize while they play this game, and they're doing therapy while they play the game.
Yep.
You want to give the name of it?
It's
Free
called,
plug?
Yeah, it's called Heroes Journey Club. And basically what you do is you get on, and it's I think it's $30 an hour, and you just play a game with a licensed therapist or counselor. And they have programs for adults and teenagers. And the games are typically non-aggressive games and stuff like that. Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing. Oh, God, what was the other one? Shit. I thought they had a list of their games on here that they played with people. But yeah, Minecraft Dungeons and stuff like that. But they actively play games that aren't aggressive and typically have like a very chill mindset or a very happy is a good word to use. A happy state or whatever. So like anybody who's played
lighthearted game.
Yes, anybody who's played Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing knows that it's a very bright, colorful. There's not a lot of stuff. Now, Stardew Valley, if you start playing into the game, you do notice that there are people in the town that you can meet and talk to or whatever, and as you develop relationships with, are struggling with certain things. Alcoholism, loneliness and depression, isolation, things like that. People who have hit their peak and fallen from it, I used to be this and now I'm nobody.
And in the game, you actually get to help those people, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you as your character, because it is, it's one of those things where the hero never speaks games, like
right.
Legend of Zelda and shit like that, where you just walk up to somebody, but they highlight it as it's your presence, not necessarily your words. And that speaks a lot to it, where like just having somebody there or being somebody there is better than nothing. You know what I mean?
And to me, helping somebody is very therapeutic.
Yeah, no doubt.
Helping somebody else helps my mental.
Yeah.
All right, making somebody else laugh, it helps my mental. Helping them out of a funk or just listening to their problems, and if they want advice, giving it. Or I always try to ask, do you want a shoulder to cry on, or do you want a solution?
Yeah.
And now, granted, I might not be the right solution.
Sure.
But we can talk through it and maybe find the right solution or eliminate solutions that might not be correct.
Right.
So even though this is a game and it's a simulated problem, it is still therapeutic.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because, I mean, especially if you're into video games, like, you connect with these characters, especially when there's a story being told. It's just like reading a book. For those of you that don't play video games, but you're heavy into reading, you know what I mean? Or if you're heavy into like binging a TV show, it's no different. You build a relationship with these characters. So that in itself is very therapeutic.
Yeah, no doubt. I 100% agree. And I don't know, man. It's something about, like, I don't know, in certain states in my own brain, like, I feel like very insignificant and I beat myself up for it. You know what I mean? Just like, there's nobody around me. I'm very lonely and shit like that. And playing specifically Stardew Valley, like, I feel like I'm bigger and a part of something. And I'm helping others and shit like that, like you said.
Of course.
And even going out and, you know, fucking, like, I do stupid shit all the time. Fucking hold the door open for somebody, or fucking make somebody smile, do something stupid, or say something dumb and just give somebody a smile or some shit. And hell, just seeing people out and like doing acts of kindness and shit like that, honestly, like, helps me out. Like, I don't know why, but it's seeing the betterment of humans or betterment of people.
Right.
That really helps me out and shit like that, you know? And like you said, you offer, you know, people, you know, advice or whatever. Bless you.
Thank you. I slept too close to the crack, apparently.
I offer everybody a hug, like, you know, and there was a thing that said, people are required to get 3 hugs a day for good mental health.
Now, here's the thing. I am this weird type of hugger, but not hugger.
Sure.
All right? If I like hugging you.
Aww.
I like hugging my children. If I'm dating somebody, I like hugging them. Outside of that, I hug my sister. I hug my brother.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I'm not a big hugger. So if I hug you, just know I am not doing that for me. That is not about me, because it makes me uncomfortable. That is about you, whoever is receiving the hug. So,
see, I am a hugger. I'll hug.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I hug everybody, dude, and I don't discriminate.
I'll dap a motherfucker up, though.
That's something, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll fucking dap anybody up. We homies now.
I remember specifically this fella I work with. He's just he's a big grumpy dude. Like,
yeah, you hug him, don't you?
Oh, dude, all the fucking time. And you know what? I don't give a fuck what he or anybody says, and he'll fight me.
He'll fight you.
Fuck yeah.
If you hug him, he's fighting. He's swinging, huh?
Well, I mean, he's trying to get me off of him. You know what I mean?
Say, fuck you, let me love you.
Yeah. Exactly right. And so I will.
You gonna feel better after this,
and you know
bitch.
what? I'd be damned if if he's sitting there fucking just fucking scowling and shit, I run up and I like, what the problem is, Jake? You want to hug it out? He said, get the fuck off me, Shorty. I was like, no, come on, buddy. And he'll sit there and fight me until I get him. And I just sit there and hug him. And I'm like, no, Jake, I'm not letting go until you're okay. And I sit there and hug this motherfucker for sometimes like 5 or 10 minutes. And we work in a fucking oven, bro.
Yeah, you do.
It's hot. I will suffer and you're going to suffer. And we're going to hug this out. And by golly, we hug it out and he feels fine. Like, he'll end up laughing and joking with me by the end of it.
All right, what are some other... We're running short on segment time here. What are some other things you do for your mental health? So we got shows, we got games, hugging.
I just go outside, dude, for real. Like,
sun.
I mean, I go out at night too, and like during the day, I'll go hiking, riding my longboard, just for a walk or anything, man. Just getting out, like a lot of people isolate themselves indoors, and like we need sunlight. Vitamin D is very important, and like it's a hard statistic, but like
You want some vitamin D's nuts?
no,
Too bad. Damn it. I thought I was going to get lucky.
no dice. But there is a correlation between depression and mental health with third shifters.
Right. Yep.
Because they lack sunlight and vitamin D and stuff like
Right.
that, and they become isolated. And, you know, it is one of the few things that I am blessed with, insomnia, that I'm able to achieve, you know, sunlight and stuff like that. But there's times where I'm down and I don't want to go outside, and I sit here and sometimes I turn on a video game and just pass out, wake up, and I just play that game all day, you know. But I a lot of times have to force myself to go outside and do something, even by myself. Like I'll go frisbee golfing by myself. So if nobody else wants to go with me, I just go. And like, I don't know, talking with my friends and stuff like that and trying to break down or whatever. Another big thing I do is D&D. I find D&D wildly therapeutic, because then it's not me solving my problems. It's somebody else solving my problems being controlled by me.
There you go. Hell yeah.
It's weird because, like, I don't know, as a person, a lot of times I feel weak and I feel that I can't do something right. But this is my D&D character who can cast spells and wield a sword and slay a fucking dragon. He's able to fix my problems. You know, he's a hero and stuff like that. But eventually I find myself doing it.
Slaying dragons is hella therapeutic.
Right.
All right, here's some things I do for my mental.
Let me hear it, Ty.
All right, so my siblings are very important to me. Well, a couple of them are. I don't get to see many of the other ones. I have my favorite siblings, okay? Sue me. So one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling down is I like to go see my sister and take a ride with my sister.
Sure.
With her driving.
I read this post.
Yeah, because her driving really shows me how badly I want to live.
Right.
Because it terrifies me.
Yeah.
But hey,
I could say the same thing about my sister, but I know I value my life, so I don't do it.
I've rode with your sister, and I feel that.
Words.
So the next,
she's going to listen to this, and she's going to feel called out.
So the next thing I like to do, because I don't want to leave my older brother Bub out of the equation, is another thing that I like to do when I feel down, is I like to stand next to my brother Bub, because he's my older brother, but I'm like a foot taller than him. And it makes me feel really good about myself. I mean, he does have some majestic hair. You finally got to meet my brother. You saw his fucking hair, bro. Let me tell you what, our dad is 70 years old, and he's still got a head of hair like that.
Man.
Yeah.
That sucks, Ty.
It does. But hey, I'm tall. I'm taller
That's what
than
it
all
was.
of them.
You know what? That's what it was. Is like, you know, God was like, I'm going to give you height, but I must lower your ego a little.
But look, I pull this shiny head off really well. All right. The next thing I
said a little.
The next thing I like to do is I like to talk to people about their relationships with their significant others, because this makes me really happy that I'm single. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got to deal with that shit.
Maybe, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm always very concerned when I hear people like diss and shit on their old ladies or old men. Like,
Oh, they ain't got to be dissing.
but I mean, just, you know, like,
I like to be like, hey man, you want to do this? But I gotta ask my significant other. Like, I mean, I still gotta ask my kids and my exes, but still, that's one less person I have to ask.
you're still asking your exes.
Yeah, because if I have kids on that day, I have to be like, hey,
Well,
can
so
you help
like,
me out?
I mean, my buddy Tree Bark, you know, if he has to go out or if I want him to come out and play, you know, he's like, well, let me clear it with the old lady.
Right.
And it's not like clearing it with the old lady, like, hey, can I go out do this? Like, hey, I'm going to go play. Like, would you mind running the kids solo? Like, it's, you know, this is all going to be on you right now. Like, it's the same concept. You know, like, You're not asking your old lady if you can do it. Like, oh, hey, we have no kids. Am I allowed to go do this? And your old lady fucking saying no. Like, if I had to go if I had an old lady and we had, like, you know, I ain't got no kids, but I was like, hey, can I go out with the boys? And she told me no. I'd be like, why? Give me a good fucking reason.
Right.
You know? Oh, well, I want to spend time with you. Okay, well, we sat here on our phones for 4 hours and didn't say a word to each other. I'm going to go out with my buddies. Like, were you planning on striking up a conversation in 30 seconds? No. Well, guess who did? My homies.
Right. All right, my last two real quick naps is one of them. The world could be burning around me, and I'm going to take a motherfucking nap. And guess what? I'm going to dream about some cool shit like me and you going to the beach with four-wheelers and kittens, bro. It's going to happen. And then I'm going to wake up feeling like, man. Look, I used to be like, you know what? I'm missing out on life when I nap. But then, like, I stay awake, and it's like, I ain't missing out on shit. I'm going to take that nap, bro. All right, last thing on my list is a twofer. I'll start it off with social media. It's a double-edged sword. Usually social media makes me feel pretty good because I get to make people laugh. But then sometimes, you know, you have to deal with some shit on social media. And if you're not following me, follow me. Tyler Hadlin on Facebook. Yeah, do that for a laugh. But sometimes you're going to hear these jokes before they actually make it to the show.
Whatever it is.
And then the next thing is this show. This show is so therapeutic to me. I will talk openly about almost anything on this show. Shit that I won't talk about openly when I'm not recording.
Yeah, I know. You ought to see it. He's quiet as fuck. And since we turn off the mics, he's like, all right, Shorty, see you.
Yeah, I mean,
He tries to run from me, but I make him hug me.
Sometimes it's a combination between putting a mic in my face and having you here. Those two things are very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. But we're going to take a pause for the cause, pay some light bills, and we'll be right back. Hit the button. And we're back. A moment of seriousness real quick. If you're ever feeling like you need help, 988. Call or text that number. That is the suicide hotline. Suicide and crisis line. I like that they shortened it.
Yeah, it's just a quick dial, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. It's easy to remember. You ain't got to have that shit wrote down. It's just 988. Or reach out to us because we would love to hear you tell us your story and not somebody else after you're gone.
Yeah, it's Tyler Hadlin and Shorty Hoffman.
That's right.
We will reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever the hell it is. If you, well, I don't fuck with
it's
Twitter.
on there, but
I don't fuck with Twitter.
I check
Or
it once in a
X.
while. It will always and forever be the tweeter.
The tweeter?
The Twitter.
The Twitter.
Twitter.
The Twitter. But yeah, I would much rather hear from you and talk to you than anything.
Yeah.
And if you're local to us in the Cincinnati area,
Let's go grab some lunch.
yeah, grab some lunch and stuff. We'll sit around, bullshit or whatever. Hopefully make you laugh and feel appreciated. I will give you a hug. Tyler's a solid maybe.
Solid maybe. But
Solid.
you know what I will do? I'll tell you some jokes.
Yeah.
I'll dap you the fuck up. And hell, I may even...
Now, when you say dabbing up, like, do you mean the whole, like, thing? And
Yeah.
bring it in, fucking
Yeah.
the bro hug kind of deal?
A bro hug's much... It's less intimate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still...
Thus why men do it.
Yeah. So, I'll dap you up, bro.
Word.
Or, hey, I'll even tell you a joke. How do you make a squid laugh?
How?
Tentacles.
Fuck away from me. I heard you do that to your brother the other day.
Yeah.
And I didn't even see it, but I knew exactly what you did.
Yeah. But hell, if you're lucky, Shorty has Braille on his areolas, and he might even let you read it.
No. You know damn well I won't.
I'm trying to learn it.
You can learn Braille. That's
Don't
fine.
you want to know what your nipples say?
It says don't touch,
But
which is a weird thing for Braille to say.
what? Oh fuck! Nope, I'm done.
You know what's a terrifying thought?
I'm done.
Seriously,
I'm
listen,
fucking done
listen
with
to me,
life.
listen to me, Ty. You know what's a terrifying thing is Braille on drive-up ATMs.
That's for the passengers.
It's on the driver's side, Dingleberry.
Because that's the only place that the ATM is. The person could be sitting in the back, or you could stop right before the ATM for the blind person to get out, get their cane or their service dog, and then go fill up the machine.
That's fucking bananas.
Yeah. You know what really scares the shit out of blind people's service dogs?
What?
Skydiving.
Stupid. You're dumb.
Bro, I'm a pretend to be blind one day. I'm gonna walk into
Strip club.
Nope. I'm gonna go to a fish market and say good morning, ladies.
That's fucked up. That smells bad.
I stole that out of a song, but I still completely butchered it. Yeah. All right, blind people. That's
You probably got bad mental health. We're here for you, too.
yeah.
You could.
We'll let you read Shorty's nipples.
We will not.
You wouldn't let a real legit blind person. What if they said something cool, dude?
It says don't touch.
How do you know? Do you speak Braille?
You know what? It's my body. It's my choice what they say.
It doesn't work that way.
I feel like it does.
No, you can't. You can't identify your Braille. It says something or it doesn't.
I grew it.
Yeah, but you still don't know what it says.
I don't care. They're going to go away. I'm going to get them removed.
No, I gotta read them first.
No. You can read them after they're off of me and I can't feel anything.
That's weird.
That's weird. That's the part that's where we draw the line.
Yeah.
You know what? That's it. When I go to get them removed, I'm going to ask the doctor if I can keep them. And I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to give you.
I don't want them. I don't want to keep them. I just want to read them one time. If it's a good read, maybe twice.
Somebody who is so fascinated with my nipples doesn't want to keep them.
It's for one, your nipples grabbed my fascination because they are so aggressive.
They'll be aggressive when they're off my body.
All right. That was just the start of the obsession.
Oh.
The second part, which we discovered Friday night, is that there is Braille on your areolas because I was...
You say we, but it's all you, dog.
Look at them. Feel them. You can feel
I don't even like playing with my own nipples, dude.
Really? Do you don't never, like, just lay in bed and...
No.
I'm doing it right now.
I know. It makes me...
so hard right now.
It makes me uncomfortable. Stop it.
I can't now. I've done started. You can't stop once you start.
God, this is weird.
All right, let's get to your top 5. Dude, my nipple is so hard right now.
Stop it.
I didn't even sneeze. All right, go ahead. I'm waiting.
All right.
With a bated breath.
So, in honor of Mental Health Month, these are characters in, ironically, all of anime. It's all anime characters that have...
Let me just say, anime, here's what people don't understand about anime, is it tells incredible stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells them in a way that American television does not tell stories.
Because over in Japan, it's viewed for everyone. Like, a lot of people here in the United States still view comic books, anime, cartoons, and video games as a thing for children, when that is simply not the case. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, I don't have any kids, but I love Bluey. Like, the cartoon.
I mean, a lot of adults love Bluey.
Dude, I was over, when I was out in San Diego with Dende and Ashley, we were sitting there watching, or there was like, oh, there's a new episode of Bluey on. And I kind of shrugged my shoulders at it. And they turned it on. And I sat there. We watched like 8 episodes in a row. And I didn't fucking budge. And several of them had me crying. Like, the kids, like, it's... Like, you see struggles. Like, it's so weird how they do it. Like, they do such a wonderful job, like, hiding or the meanings of whatever's going on or whatever. And seeing, like, Bluey and whatever the fuck his... or hers little brother or sister's name is, but they run around or whatever. But then you see the parents individually go through struggles and stuff like that. There's several episodes focusing on like what the mom is struggling with or the dad is struggling with, and the kids are oblivious to it. But there's a life lesson for them. But then you see the mom or the dad, you know, overcome whatever emotional struggle there is, and like, you know, Denny's kids, Benjamin and Claire, are 7 and 5, I think. And they miss it entirely. But then you look at like me, Dens, and Ash, and we're all sitting there fucking crying like bitches. Yeah. And like the kids are like, oh, what a great episode. And we're like, yeah, what a great episode. Fuck.
Now, I've never actually paid attention to the show, but maybe I'll give it a go.
You should, dude. In all seriousness, like it is like, especially for like Ev or whatever, she's little enough. Like, I think she would enjoy it.
She's watched it before.
Yeah, and I would say you would enjoy it too. Like, if you really sat down and paid attention, like, some of the episodes, don't get me wrong, like, there are 1 or 2 that I watched that were just silly, and that's obvious. Like, it is designed for children, but it's also for adults.
Okay.
And there's a lot, like, but there is that stigma where, like, anime here in the United States is trapped with the stigma that it is for children. Now, luckily, there is the whole the millennial generation that grew up on anime and cartoons and video games that are taking that with them into adulthood. So, like, and we're not letting it go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I talk to, there's not a single friend of mine that is my age that doesn't still partake in video games, anime, or cartoons of some kind.
Do you ever remember being little and like dreading growing out of it?
No, that was never a fear for me.
I remember being little and like, man, I really enjoy this stuff. I hope I don't grow out of it someday. And here I am, old as dirt, and I still enjoy it. I don't think I'm growing out of it.
I remember my dad saying, like, there will be a day that you will grow out of the things you like. You know, he was specifically talking about video games, cartoons, anime, and
the only thing I grew out of liking was life. And that's why we're here today.
Yeah. But I showed my dad. Well, then I realized something real quick, and, you know, we started my dad stopped playing video games because he had to be an adult and he had to be the sole provider of our family. Well, when when all the kids, my sister and I, when we moved out of the house,
and you're the baby.
Yes.
The baby.
When we finally moved out or whatever, he had free reign of his home. He didn't have to work as much. And I introduced my dad to Minecraft. And, a lot of people say it's a game for kids. My dad fucking loves Minecraft and plays it religiously.
You get to build shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's in it to win it now, dude. And every now and again, he'll call me up and say, hey, can you hop on Minecraft and help me out? And I have to, like, find a way to help him out on whatever, or I have to go down to his house and help him and show him how to build something. And, like, it's gotten to the point now where he looks up YouTube tutorials and builds stuff doing that. I was like, Dad, just look it up on YouTube. Like, I can't. Like, on his single-player world, I can't come down there and help him. On the multiplayer stuff that I set up for us all, yes, I can get on and help. But there are some things where, like, I can't do it. But I think the biggest problem is people grow up, and that is the problem. They lose who they are and what it means to have fun. Because you see a lot of people like, oh, man, when I get older, I'm going to drink and party and do all this, adult shit. And then they realize it's very shallow and not meaningful or whatever. Like I remember, like video games to me as a kid were very lonely because I didn't have a lot of friends who played video games. So I didn't play like Mortal Kombat or any racing games or anything like that. It was all strictly like JRPGs and stuff like that. But no, there were characters. I mean, I remember playing The Legend of Zelda, and in the end credits of the first Legend of Zelda, you had to wait for all the credits to roll in order to start playing again. And, as a kid, I'm sitting there watching the credits kind of roll, and I'm not really reading them because it's all a bunch of Japanese names I don't know. And then at the very end, it says, and our hero, you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, like, you are the hero. You are the master of time. You know what I'm saying? And as a fucking 8-year-old, like, that hit me to my fucking core. And, like, I don't know why it hit me at my core. You know what I mean? Like, 8-year-old me, I was just playing because it was fun.
Getting thanked.
Exactly right.
Somebody's showing appreciation
exactly
to you.
Right. And, like, that meant a lot to me as a kid. And, like, they still do it. In all seriousness. Like, the end credits for Minecraft are telling you to go out and enjoy life and be appreciative of the world that you live in.
I didn't know there was end credits for Minecraft. I thought that shit was endless.
The end, like, is a dimension, and you can jump in after you defeat the dragon. You jump in or whatever, and it'll roll credits. Now, you used to not be able to skip them. They were 5 minutes long, and you just read it. But literally, the credits are fucking like 7 people's names, and then a story about somebody going out and enjoying the real life. And at the end of the thing, it tells you are that person.
Oh, hell
Remember to go outside and enjoy life and build connections with others. Yeah. So it's a really dope thing.
All right, now I got to get you back on track. Let's get to your top 5 because we're going to run over on this one.
Okay, so the top 5 is people in specifically anime for me who overcome their depression or sadness or lifelong trauma and come out better for it.
I actually do have one to add to this, but I won't give character names.
Okay. I mean, you can. I don't give a shit. The first one is Shoya Ishida from A Silent Voice. It's a movie about a kid who used to be a bully, and as he grows up, he realizes he loses all of his friends because he was a bully, and he then becomes isolated.
And what's the name of this one again?
A Silent Voice.
Silent Voice.
Yeah, it's not on Netflix. I think it's on Crunchyroll. I'm not 100%. It used to be on Netflix, but I'm sure you can find it online on YouTube somewhere. But it's super good. But it shows him just trying to redeem himself and be a better person and stuff like that. And without giving the end of the movie, he does it very successfully. And you see how his hard work and tireless efforts of trying to save somebody or trying to save himself and becoming, redeemed in their eyes. It's super good to see. Next up is Deku Midoriya. Izuku from My Hero Academia.
Tugging at my heartstrings right here.
And I could say Lemillion, but I want to say Deku specifically in season 6.
There's multiple characters from that show that you could clump in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. But specifically Izuku in season 6 when he's out on his own after he starts gaining the powers to control all of his other powers that he has access to. And when he's out on his own, and it takes his entire class to come save him, and he finally comes back to UA.
And what's interesting about this is they're not saving him from a villain; they're saving him from himself.
Yeah, because he's running himself ragged, and he's doing a selfless act,
and he's doing what he believes society needs him to do.
Yes.
So that kind of goes hand in hand with the whole societal expectation.
Yeah.
Because he's not leaning on the people that helped him get there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he is the most powerful at this point.
Sure.
I mean, because All Might's gone.
Yeah.
So he thinks he has to shoulder all the burden by himself.
Yeah.
To protect his friends, to protect the world, all that shit.
Right. And then you see Uraraka and Todoroki and even Baku or
the Baku part made me tear up.
Like, I mean, you see these guys and Tenya Ida, all these guys, his classmates are coming out there to help him. They are the real heroes and shit like that. And then even when he gets back to UA and the entire town or, that entire people are rejecting him, and you see Uraraka getting up there and screaming at them like, please, like, we need to save this one person.
And that gives you a good lesson, too, before he even gets to the town, that sometimes somebody needs help and they're not really willing to accept it.
Yeah. And you got to fight for that person.
Yeah.
You got to
fight for that person.
And sometimes, I've seen it where it is a physical fight, and sometimes it's just you consistently howling. Like, hey, bro, let's hang out. Let's talk. No, I'm not in the mood. No, let's go out. I'm not in the mood. And eventually that person will say yes.
Right.
And you got to snag it up. You got to drop what you're doing and fucking, even if you're I've been in the middle of doing shit. And I knew one of my buddies was fucking struggling. And I'd text him every day, come on, man, let's go out and do something. Let's go out and do something. And finally he said yes. I dropped what I was doing. And I had to get stuff done. I was like, fuck it. I got to go. Boom.
Dude, I really like this choice, man. This one was a good one.
In all seriousness, Deku does a lot of stuff throughout the anime that is super impactful towards other people's mental health. I like My Hero Academia, but I love Izuku Midoriya.
Yes.
He does such a good job. Next one is Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. And I say him because he is, throughout the early part of the series, he is a classic narcissist. He's a know-it-all. He knows everything and does this. But consistently through battles and, other people around him, he gets beat down. And he overcomes his own ego. And now, granted, he is the protagonist of the show. He is supposed to be all powerful and stuff like that. And notably, he shows it. He is stronger than everybody. But then he gets to several points in the show where he has no control over a situation, and he has to relent. It's a struggle. And throughout the anime, especially toward the end, you see him accepting it. Like, I'm not the strongest one. I'm not the best suited for this position. And he accepts it. He's willing to lean on others. And that's an important lesson in of itself, watching him lean on everyone else around him.
And that shows that show is also a great example of you can mess up in life. You can do something that you might feel is irreparable, but there is a light at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah.
You can come back out of the other side and live again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him and Alphonse both really push forward through their things, and like they both like Edward is ego, and Alphonse is doubt. Like they're both of the same coin, but the opposite. Like Alphonse consistently doubts himself, and Edward consistently overhypes himself. And they both, Edward gets punched down, and Alphonse gets lifted up, and they balance each other out very well.
Yeah.
It's a cool brothers dynamic. Last one, I think, is honestly one of the best ones for this is Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He starts out as the antagonist.
And there's so much to unpack with him, too.
Oh, dude, I mean, it's incredible. But, and when you first meet him, you fucking hate him. You cannot stand this little punk bastard.
Yeah, because you don't understand why he's doing what he's doing. But then as you learn why he is the way he is and why he's doing what he's doing, you learn that he doesn't necessarily have bad intentions. He just wants to
no, his intentions are bad because he knows what's going to happen if he succeeds. His intentions are bad.
Okay, so
he was raised in a home where those intentions were right.
But he's only doing it for the love and acceptance of his father.
You're absolutely right. And
so that's where I say the good intentions are, because a lot of times the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
So when I say good intentions, that's kind of what I mean. Like, he only wants the love of his father. Okay. And that in itself should be another lesson. Like, love the people around you, because your actions and the way you treat them have effects on others. Mm-hmm. Now, is it okay to, use an excuse, well, this person did this to me, so that's why I'm doing this? No. But at the same time, your actions have effect on others.
Sure.
You are going to cause people to act or make decisions in a certain way because of your actions towards them.
Yes. And watching Zuko go from this young punk to, the young punk prince, who has everything and can do everything, except for obviously his honor and home. But he gets away with a shit ton of stuff and he's allowed to do anything. Where in season 2, he's basically ran through the mud and he's forced to live on his own or as a refugee. Him and Iroh are going through, the city of Ba Sing Se as refugees and hiding their real thing. And they start off at the bottom and work their way kind of up a little bit into the middle class, I would say.
Iroh's another great example of coming out the other side of darkness.
But see, this is the thing. At the end of the series, when Zuko finally he was successful in his mental health journey, is when he goes back to Uncle Iroh. And he rejected Iroh and told him basically to fuck off. I need to do my own thing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And he ends up failing that and realizing Uncle Iroh was right.
And was always there for him.
Yes. And when he goes and apologizes and Iroh grabs him and hugs him and it's like, no, I was never angry with you. I was sad because I thought you lost your way. That is, like, they both just sit there and cry. I mean, it's such a powerful moment. And, like, it's important to have people around you that believe in you. And Iroh was that, even though Zuko didn't see it. And I think that's wildly important. And Zuko admitting he was wrong is very important. If you think for a moment you're too good, or the things you've done are irreparable and you can't apologize and see if it matters.
Right.
If that person loves you and cares about you, they will forgive you and let it move on.
And if you've listened to this episode and all you're taking away from it is we're just talking anime, then you weren't really listening, because all of this it sends a positive message.
Yes.
And there's life lessons in these. So this is another one of the things. Don't look down on others because they like something that you don't, because they're into something you don't, because guess what? That's going to affect their mental. The one I have for you, and I'll just give a quick synopsis. It's the whole show. I can't even narrow it down to one character.
Okay.
It is called Goodnight World.
Okay.
And it is an
Isekai?
Isekai. So what it is this man develops this game, and it's a VR game. Mm-hmm. All right. His wife has left him at this point. His daughter has been killed.
Oh, wow.
And there's 2 boys left, 2 sons left. Mm-hmm. And the one is a complete recluse, doesn't leave his room. He is jacked into this game at all times. There is a complete disconnect with his brother and his father. Mm-hmm. His father created this game. He doesn't know that. So he's in this world, and he finds this family in this world. Mm-hmm. All right? And it is 3 other people. And they are a true family in this game. Mm-hmm. They do everything together in this game. Spend so much time together. And as the story goes on, it lets out little tidbits. Okay? And each of these characters that are in this game are actually his mother in the real world, his brother, and his father. So they don't know how to be a family outside of the game, but inside of the game they do. And through struggles and the game world becoming the real world in the show, they end up reconnecting and coming together. And now the father was a real piece of shit.
Sure.
But he comes out the other side of that tunnel, that darkness.
Yeah.
And he is able to make amends with his oldest son.
Yeah.
Who is the main character of the show.
Sure.
And his oldest son is able to let go of some of that anger. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Right.
And and the brothers may form a super strong bond in the real world. And the mother who was dealing with, from the death of her daughter, her mental was completely, she was delusional.
Sure.
She was schizophrenic, and them coming together helps her through that. Mm-hmm. And she starts to level out, if you will.
Sure.
Right? So, again, it's a really good one.
What's it called?
It is called Goodnight World. It's only like 12 episodes long. You can find it on Netflix. But the whole entire show, I can't even pick out one character because they're all overcoming something.
Sure, yeah.
Their own traumas, and they're realizing that they've been a family the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need is just to find where you connect with somebody.
Yeah.
And be open about it. Mm-hmm. Because none of them would tell each other, even when he finds out who these people really are, he doesn't tell them that that's him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, so he discovers it's his family or whatever before they do. And, yes. Oh, man.
Yeah. So
that's a cool premise. I'm gonna look into it.
It's really neat. Check it out. Totally worth the watch. You can watch it in 2 sittings, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all we got for today. So in the meantime,
in the betweens time,
remember, you don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting your thoughts control you. Cue the music. We're out.
It's good shit.